realized that all I ever thought about was me. I thought that I had everything that I could ever need. Oh, the pain that I go through, things that I can do, can I even protect you? But now, I know that I must lose before I can be strong. Was I dreaming all along? I am standing here today, cause I followed you all the way. Not that I was ever really all alone. So run, I'll share, and it'll let itself be known. And you'll feel the pain that's lurking deep within. Become hope again. Lonely, 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 go. The choice is yours, what will it bring? Lonely, 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 go. Keep on loving everything.
Damn it. Ozuma's really alive.
I know. I just couldn't believe it myself, Lord Todorama.
This is bad. If Ozuma gains back all of his power and destroys this world, then we won't stand a chance unless...
Lord Todorama, if you would excuse me for a moment, I sensed something. It wasn't a thought, but it was a life sign. I think one of our friends is still alive.
It's quite the feeling. Let's check this out ourselves. With this technique, we could sense life signs through the ground. If we search close enough, then that flicker, it's a life sign. Good eyes, Shinobu.
Well, it wasn't necessarily good eyes. I just had this weird feeling while coming here that somebody was going to be alive after the transference. But if I'm wrong, then this will all be for nothing anyway. So, in this case, might as well take a chance.
Our hidden technique transfers any object through a line of energy. And once it reaches a point, we teleport. And then, that's when we strike. Right there! We got it!
Looks like we made it after all.
This is amazing, brilliant, outstanding. This is divine. No other bodies will do for me. It is only fitting when your blood is boiling and your heart is dancing. And boy, have I missed this feeling.
Yes, and with your power restored, my great master, the world shall kneel before the demon gods.
However, it doesn't seem like I'm fully there yet. I gained so much power, but it's still missing something. I would need to train a little bit more before I reach my prime.
Your prime, what do you?
Why, don't you know? Don't tell me you're surprised. It's only natural history. Besides, how am I supposed to wipe out all mortal kind when I'm stuck like this? But, in order to fully explain my plan, since I didn't tell you before, how about a little story, Izar? A story on how the universe came to be, and how I was created. Long ago, when the universe was created, via the Big Bang, there were two forces in this universe. Light and darkness. Eventually, when life was created, two representatives were born that day, one that represented darkness, and one that represented the light within that darkness. The two sides did converge, but then two people from both sides began to understand each other. And over time, they would even fall in love with each other. It was an impossible love that would eventually lead to the disasters of what we have today. While it all seemed peaceful, and the child's birth was almost upon them. However, before they could celebrate their happy life, the mortals came. They invaded. Scared by what these gods could do, they retaliated and killed both of them. However, the father, who was a demon at the time, had begun to hate mortals for the betrayal, and so, in order to exact his revenge for those who would carry on his will, he transferred his blood into a vial. Thus we call it the blood of the demon. The same blood of the demon that I drank to gain that power. And it should also be a surprise for you to know that the child they gave birth to, well, you already know, don't you? And so, in order to break the cycle of light and darkness, this universe has to be destroyed, and then I, the child of both vices, will recreate it in my image. No wars and no pain. A perfect utopia in my vision. While I may have grown stronger over the years thanks to consuming the blood of the demon, it just wasn't enough. For I realised that the moment I fought Sabi back in White Star Village, I knew it was going to be tough. And so, in order to fully understand through my subordinates, the answer to reach my prime is very, very simple. As you can see, when I fought Sabi, he wasn't nearly as strong enough. But then, as his bloodline continued, his power and his will went on to his son, a person who displayed so much power against Atrocin, Tenma, everyone. But now it would seem that now his will has passed on to his son, a son he calls Shun.
You mean plans to have your body reincarnated again and again until your power is restored?
Exactly, my apprentice, exactly. It's only natural. Of course, it will take time, of course. Human reproduction, while seeming innocent at first, every child is born with a single bit of energy to which I could latch onto. For every energy I latch onto, I at least restore at least 5% of my power each time. And of course, it doesn't really happen often. So it will take a few, let's say, 100 years in order to achieve it. But imagine how much power I could gain. Through the constant reproductions, I, a leech in some way, will latch onto the energy of that newborn child, and through every newborn from that newborn child, I will be reborn stronger. And when the time is right, the chosen child will be made, and I will be restored to my full glory.
To achieve such a feat, one has to live for hundreds of years to fully witness their potential.
Which is why I choose you for the job. The wait of 100 years will be a mere blink in the eyes of me, but now it'll be a mere blink for you, my faithful apprentice! Now, the power of immortality, my final gift, is yours.
The power of immortality. Does this mean I shall witness your full might, Master?
Indeed, with the power of immortality, you too will see my dream come true, and I know that you will not let me down. Now, Izar, go. See preparations. The time is nigh.
As you wish, Master Ozuma.
Lady Shinobu, you found me. What's happening? I thought he was killed. No, you were nearly killed, but thank goodness I saved your life. But I'm really glad that you are, because we're going to need to spread the word. Ozuma is alive, and if we don't stop him, this whole world will pay the price.
I suppose it's time to pay the son of Sabi a visit. I did leave a few stones unturned, though. However, it's finally time I cede matters to my own hands before my plan can commence. Could have sworn I heard somebody over there, but it must be my imagination. No matter, as soon as my plan succeeds, they'll all die anyway.
Not quite!
So, you finally came, Guardian.
I didn't want to believe it, but it's true. You really are alive, aren't you, Ozuma?
So, you're Zala, the one that's discovered my plan. Who did you show it to? Please, I'd be very happy to know.
What I do is none of your business, demon god. I will ask you this question. What exactly are you planning to do?
And why would I ever reveal my secret to a guardian? Are you going to tell the others? Are you going to try and stop me? It's already too late, after all. This reality, once I gain back my full power, will eventually cease to exist and a new one will be created.
New one? What do you mean, a new one?
Don't you know? I have obtained a new technique, a technique that will rewrite the history, the fabrication of this reality, and create a new one in its place.
Don't tell me. You know... Chrono Didio.
Yes! That is the technique! That is the technique that I had learned, a technique specifically for rewriting reality. And of course it took a long while though, but now I finally get the gist of it. When I first started, it seemed like time and space had slowed down, but then, as I laid my hands on just a small part of that reality, when I moved it with my own hands, it's as if reality now bends to my will. However, the version I have, it only works on a short radius. However, combine that with a few years' power, it'll become something much more destructive. It's true that celestial power can give me so much, but it's meaningless compared to what Chrono Didio could do. And in a few years' time, once 100 or so years pass, once Chrono Didio reaches its maximum radius, then this whole world will bend to my will.
That's insane! Do you realise what you're talking about? As a former guardian yourself, you know these ideals are just downright
suicidal, hypocritical, just like the other gods and guardians who disagreed with me. That's noble of you to say. But as soon as I'm done with you, you corrupt guardians will cease to exist too. And you can only watch as I decimate you all to dust. And you, Zala, will be the first to watch.
My leg, it's turning...
Oh, what's that? Is that fear I sense in your eyes, Zala? As a guardian, you shouldn't be able to sense fear, or that your emotions cloud your judgment. Yet here you are, begging for your life under a tough exterior. That's okay. I don't intend to kill you yet, Zala. There's something I need to attend to. The son of Sabi still lives. While he lives, my plan cannot fully come into full fruition. And so now, as soon as I kill him, I will begin my plan, and when I reach 100% of my power, this world will cease to exist. Goodbye, Zala. It's been fun while it lasted. Do you think Zala would have been free by now? Yes. Thanks to the battle that your son had with Ozuma. It would be the case. She is free. But Ozuma won't stay defeated for long. We won't be alive in 100 years' time. And if the new generation should have to take care of Ozuma, then we won't have enough defenses. I wouldn't worry about that. Besides, Minosuke, there's something that's been on my mind recently. As we were fighting Ozuma, I can't help but look into his eyes. And then a thought came to mind. It may sound ridiculous, but the next time I want to see Ozuma, I want to save his soul from the darkness he has taken. Nothing more, nothing less. Are you serious? You want to save that bastard? Do you know what he's done to our family, our friends? Do you even know? Why would you even think that? I know it sounds crazy, Minosuke, but while I was fighting Ozuma, it just hit me. I just couldn't help myself. After all, didn't Sora tell us that with every good, there's always a bit of evil inside, and vice versa? Well, it's a long shot. But if Ozuma has that too, then we need to believe in that all the way to the end. And should I die and the next generation take over, I know they won't fall. Because after all, after seeing my son, they get stronger every day. And besides, my father did the same thing. He passed on everything to me. And, well, you know, we shouldn't sell out the new generation yet. If Ozuma can be saved, then this whole universe will be saved too. I have full faith in that. Sure. No, that way of thinking is suicidal, but we faced suicidal for a lot of years. If you believe Ozuma can be saved, then I will too.
Saving the demon god from himself? That's some feat.
It will take a while though, and it won't be easy.
I wonder what's next for you, Sean. Your bloodline. I'm curious to see what happens next. I'm free. I'm free.
The petrification wore off after Ozuma's defeat. It seems like your plan was a success.
No, it wasn't. I failed to stop Ozuma. Sark, I'm really sorry. It's because of me this whole world
Will live. The son of Sean is not as weak as you think. Ozuma has been defeated. Not destroyed, but defeated. And I could assure you that the next generation will really save his soul. Even if it seems impossible.
You've always been known to make the possible possible, haven't you, son of Sabi? I wonder what the future has in store for you next.
We've wished upon our dreams in the best future, and even now it's always been the same till they finally come true. Challenge the day. Ready, go! This challenge sometimes feels unbeatable, but we'll just try again if we're beaten. then you will receive the inconceivable. It's the bonds we form.